and just do data gathering. So they gather the data on how the humans, the environment, or people respond, or even inside the military. And they build these model archetypes so they can then set up a modeling program that can then predict, based on large populations, what the population will do. And their biggest problem with the New World disorder, or should I call it the Old World recycle disorder, is they have dumbed the population down so far that they don't have a response that they can predictively know who's going to bolt when they finally get to a point. And people say, why are you alive, Deagle? You're talking about so much classified information. Most people would get shot in the back of the head in 5 minutes. Look, all my stuff's harassed and my bag's disappeared. Like I had to borrow a suit tonight because my bag's gone. It'll probably show up after the NSA scans every microfiber and I think I got microchips in it. They're fools. They're scared that their own people like George Soros and Bill Clinton and senior people in the military will bolt, and they don't know when. So they need us to shake the tree. And the second thing is they try to lie to each other and think that they can control this monster, that's us, once we, the ants, decide to finally get the wasps that are trying to rule over us like the movie Ants. And they're going to be very sorry because we're not exactly passive sheep. I'm a sheep with big muscles, sharp fangs, and long claws. And I'm totally fearless, and there's a lot of people behind me if they take me out and kill me tonight or some other day, and there's going to be a lot of dead them before they think that they're going to win. And they're actually gutless wonders, is what they are. And I know that my little daughter and my sons and my grandson, Ari Malachi, has got no future because in 10 years, every property reproducing in any country on earth will be totally under the control of global control. The human beings will only be reproduced in laboratories. That anybody with a polar body analysis indicating any genetic defects will not be permitted to live. That they will be genetically engineering us to die like light bulbs. They'll have total control and tracking of everyone, and they'll be able to even insert thoughts in your mind and even read your thoughts because they already have these technologies developed at places like the Menninger Institute, Topeka, Kansas, University of California, Los Angeles, UC Irvine, Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, the Tavistock Institute in England, and Russian and other facilities in Asia and Japan. So you have to understand these technologies are very advanced, and they know them already. And the next thing is biocoded signals. They can actually code specific biocoded signals, and combining it with technology like beamed microwaves, they can directly influence your body and control it, or insert mind's thoughts, use infrasound, tuned microwave frequencies, and they can influence or harm or kill you. And they can do these now. So this is not imaginary. So what's the transition? Well, the transition is this. National ID or passports. People say, well, it's not the mark of the beast. Well, let me tell you, it's a baby step away. And you'll see Mr. Sensenbrenner there kind of staring out with his fat, pudgy little face on that real ID card. And the next step is the implantable ID. And you can see the little claw around the side of the face of that young lady there that is getting her ID because it's a good national thing to do. And then finally you see the brain interface chip. Literally, George, 1 of 7. What they're going to do is they really do want to make a hive mind. And this is not imaginary, and they have the technologies to do it. You need to move the cursor back this way. To move to the right, and then it'll stop that, right? Good. Everybody see now? Okay. Now, if we look at this diagram here, you'll see the global terror event. They want a terror event in order to precipitate this. So they got this all modeled and planned. So they have a plan. I don't know when it'll be, but you can tell from their predictive modeling. They want the Iranian war, or at least a regional one, even if it's just the mining of the Strait of Hormuz so the oil stops coming from the Gulf. They already know that the Ayatollahs are really easy. They're hair-trigger Ayatollahs. All you have to do, and they've already said, Ayatollah Khomeini has already said that he will mine the Strait of Hormuz if you even threaten to attack him and his mullahs. They want to create an oil crisis. They like climate crisis. It's good for business. They like tsunamis once in a while, just to stir things up, especially when it's an area of mobile oil in the Asian area around Aceh. And they'd like maybe a little mini ice age over Switzerland and North Germany and Russia. It kind of stirs things up a little bit. So they need these things. They need also tell us lies that it's us driving in our SUVs with technology. By the way, we could have 300 mile per hour cars or cars that work on water engines or Tesla technology or methyl hydrates or helium-3, which is being mined right now on the moon. Helium-3 is for nuclear fusion engines, which we have that have already been around for years and decades, used for interstellar travel. They don't want you to know about all these things because it's part of their control matrix they want over you. They want citizens with an RFID chip in your passports. They want them literally in the vaccines. They developed an RFID chip to be put in vaccines at the University of Texas in Austin that is 1/20th the width of a human hair that can be analyzed and measured at 20 to 30 centimeters from the body. They want to be able to quarantine you. They want to have you color-coded. They want to make sure they know where you travel and how you travel. They want to control your education. They want to control a virtual model of what you know and how you know it from your purchases, your books, and everything. So they built a hyperspace model in this virtual world that they have built with this quantum computing, and they have it now, not future. So when you see programs like World of Warcraft, how many people have children and grandchildren to play World of Warcraft or other of these large role-play world warfare games? A lot of the tactics and so on are being uploaded by these advanced systems into supercomputer artificial intelligence arrays to actually use this against you with future ROVs, because their plan is what's called the 2010-2025 transition to remote operated vehicles with quantum supercomputers, snot-nosed 12-year-old super geniuses at playing video games. Okay, and of course they'll eventually get rid of them too. And also genetically engineered chimeric cyborgs. And they are doing this. They succeeded in cloning super soldiers in 1982 at the Moscow Institute for Biological Research with American and Russian scientists as well as others. They have been working on cloning since 1927 attempts by the Nazi Germans and have succeeded effectively with Russian women as the hosts for cloning super soldiers since 1982. It's not difficult. And their plan, and I was told this directly when they tried to recruit me to UCLA VA Wadsworth Hospital here in Santa Monica in 1977 when I was going to work on the World MS Tissue Repository under Dr. Wallace Tortolot. One project was to work as his PhD student doing research on multiple sclerosis because my first wife was dying of MS. And the other 4 projects, 3 of them were to actually take prisoners from West Orange and Irvine penitentiaries and wet wire their auditory and visual and other cortex as well as their rage and calming nuclei with platinum and palladium wires using a CT scan custom-made implanter that was hooked up to a CT scanner to make sure they got in the right nuclei so that you could remote wire them and control their brains. Well, they went on beyond that with Dr. Delgado's research in the 80s and succeeded very, very stoutly in being able to create scalar technologies that were very effective that could remotely control you without any need for implants. Finances, they want to control medicine. That's why when you see the national ID, the national medical system coming, banking, activities, medical, military, fines, info and control, library access, high-definition TV. Have you ever heard of the 25th frame phenomena? They want these things. You're using neurolinguistic programming and TV commercials and news, inserting through sound and light and other scalar technologies that are satellite-based, inserting ideas, paralyzing the mind, now spraying, by the way, sulfuryl fluoride, which fries the pineal gland, which is the hyperspace connection between the higher centers of your cortex and the higher dimensional planes of what you are as a spirit being. And they're actually trying to poison that thing called the silver cord. They know that if they can calcify the pineal gland, they can disconnect your spirit body with your physical body or interfere with it. And the reason is because you as a spirit understand and know things that you can not always explain in physical words, but you know that things aren't right. Just like an animal before a tsunami or an earthquake knows something's real damn wrong, and how come Deagle knows all this stuff? They want to insert thoughts in your mind, and they want to program you. And they're doing it right now. And that's why when you see all these high-definition TV, why is all this stuff out there? Well, it's all out there because they're programming you with everything they got in their bucket.